And we're back once again, only on Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Now, joining me here on location, this man he's been wanting big fights, wanting fights will lead to a title. Well, he'll be getting that as he takes on former world champion on August 12th. I give you once again undefeated pride and joy of now. Well, we're going to find out what the name of Jim is again. I give you tall Steve Mowry. So, Steve, it's you. It's Valentin Moldavsky. How much do you enjoy this? Where it's no longer prospects, no longer other undefeated guys or guys who are regional guys. You're now getting somebody who's a top 5 fighter.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's just another fight for me, but obviously, like the the added stipulation that that he's a former interim champion is huge. I'm really excited to test my abilities.
He's a very different heavyweight than anybody you face in terms of he's not a guy who sits on his punches. He has some pop, but he mostly will throw punches and bunches. He goes in and out. He's a fast heavyweight, likes to do takedowns. For a guy like this, how much do you look at guys in your camp who are very wrestling oriented and try to give you so they can give you a look of, all right, I gotta watch out for a takedown and watch out for him just laying and preying on me?
Mm. I'll be honest with you. I haven't really thought about it too much. I'm more focused on what I'm going to do, and I have a lot of good training partners. Even the guys that, even if they don't emulate his style exactly, I have a lot of good training partners who I feel like are going to make me be prepared and ready for whatever comes come August 12th.
I know that you don't usually, you focus on yourself. You don't watch too much tape. For a guy like this, though, do you? Since he's much better than a lot of guys taking on. I mean, this isn't Gakram Sarakam, Sean Teed, Sean Asher. This is a guy who's won the title. He's beaten guys in your camp. Do you do more scouting for this, or is it still like, all right, we're just gonna focus on me?
I'm like I said, I'm really just focused on what I'm going to do. I'm not really concerned about him. Not in the sense that I'm not taking him seriously, but more, I think that the path to victory on August 12th comes from me focusing on me and what I can do.
Last question I was to move on. Does it help that one of your training partners, Linton Vassell, has faced him so that you have a guy who can sort of give you inside tips like, well, this is what he likes to do. This is what he usually does. This is what, his feints are. I know, as I said, I know you're focused on yourself, but does it help having a guy who's faced him so he can give you like an insider's look?
I mean, a little bit, but training with Linton isn't quite the same as it would be, I guess, as having a firsthand look. So I'm more just excited to have Linton around because of his high skill, his high caliber, his obviously he's very seasoned. And then I'm looking forward to seeing how I can apply that and what I've learned from Linton. Just as the two of us compare more than how I am with Valentin.
Well, we're going to switch topics here because there's definitely something I've been dying to ask you. Fury Pro Grappling last December, you were involved. You, Nick Rodriguez. What is it about grappling you love? Because this wasn't for big money. You already have a Bellator deal. What is it about the grappling vet for you? It seems like, all right, you jumped head first into it, and it seems like you love it.
Yeah, I've always loved it. Grappling, I would say, was probably my first. It was like the first sport that I really like dove in at. In terms of like, I really got in and I really fell in love with it, and I really felt like I'd seen some success. I mean, relative to what I was doing. So whenever the opportunity to compete against Nicky Rodriguez came up, I just couldn't say no. He's like one of the best guys. He's probably the best guy at his weight right now. I was really looking forward to seeing, how I matched up with him skill wise. I wanted to see what, the best guy at his weight in jiu-jitsu was doing, what I could learn, what I could glean from, where his skills were at. And obviously it was, just fun more than anything. It was just fun to go out there and compete,
Now, all right, so for those who aren't familiar, so when you do the grappling, is it gi? Is it no gi? And how weird is it when all of a sudden it's like, okay, you can't use striking, you can't use, elbows, knees, any of that stuff. It's like it's pure grappling. How weird is it going from MMA to like just a pure grappling match?
I'll be honest with you, it's not that big of an adjustment. I came from grappling and wrestling, so it was more, if anything, it felt more natural to go back to my roots than it did feel like an adjustment out of it, trying to, hey, like, how do I not use my strikes and my, all that other stuff. I really feel like in terms of like the competition itself, it was just another day of practice, another day to go out there and test myself, really push myself and see where my skills are at.
All right. So what did you learn? Because you said you want to test yourself, and obviously, as you mentioned, Nick Rodriguez, one of the best grapplers in the sport. So how do you feel you fared? Like, when you look back at it, like, okay, how do you grade your performance?
I mean, am I proud of myself that I went out there and did it? Yes. Do I feel like I did well? No.
So what did he do that was different then? I mean, because as you said, you're a pretty good grappler. You submit a lot of guys in MMA, and you train this full time. So what did he do that was just for you? Like, okay, well, this is a little bit different here.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely just, I feel like every matchup in terms of the um, every little like micro matchup that we had, like every all the tie ups, all the situations. Um, I just, he was a little bit better than me, and there's not, not to take anything away from him, but I do feel like, the time that I spend working on other skills, like my striking, my wrestling, that's time that he spends on just his grappling. So again, not to take anything away from Nicky Rodriguez, he's obviously like I think the number one ranked guy at his weight. But he's just better than me, and good on him. Like I said, I got everything I wanted from competing, not just, like I said, to learn and to try my hand at something a little bit different, but also to get out there and compete and do something fun.
All right, you've mentioned that word a couple times now. Fun. Like, why is it so fun? Like, it looks painful because basically you're taking on a guy, not much money. You can't use any of your strikes, your knees. He's literally at times just attacking you with trips or you know arm drags. Taking he's trying to take the back. He's doing all this stuff here. Neither of you guys, you're basically wearing just mesh shorts. What is this about? Why do you find it so damn fun?
It's just a challenge of it, the opportunity to go out there and do what I love on a stage where people will be watching. And then the act of doing it itself, the act of grappling itself, is enjoyable for me. Like I said, it would have been probably more fun if I had done better. But that said, it was still, I really enjoyed myself being able to go out there and do it.
What's the plan for? I'm guessing the ultimate thrill is to do, ADC or Abu Dhabi or the World Grappling Championships. Uh, is there any plan to do that? I mean, because Bellator usually lets guys, do that. They let the, past fighters compete in those. So is there any plan for you? Like, all right, I want to do, I want to do Abu Dhabi. I want to do the ADCC, championships. I want to, go in a tournament with the best of the best and see how I can do.
I mean, it would be cool. Don't get me wrong, but with where the skill is at in grappling right now, especially to get to a level where like the ADCC is at, like those competitors, I would really have to take time away from MMA to focus to shore up the holes that I have in my grappling game that MMA fighters might not be able to capitalize on, but good grapplers might. Like I said, I would have to really take time out of MMA, and that's just not something I'm prepared to do right now. I really like where I'm at in my career in terms of not just my, career progression and placement, but also my skill progression and placement. And I really feel like it'd be counterproductive to, take time away, no matter how long it is, just to focus on my grappling. So that said, is it something that could happen down the road? I never say never, maybe, but at this point in time, no, I'll dip my toes in every now and again when the right opportunity presents itself. But until that time, I'm just focused on MMA.
It all comes back down to, once again, August 12th. It's all the way in South Dakota. It's going to be you, Valentin Moldavsky, Bellator 284. Do you allow yourself to start going, okay, I'm ready, after this I'm ready to call it the world champion? Because if you beat him, you can basically say to people, look, I am ready. I have beaten a former champion. I am at that level, and since there's no real clear contender, is there a part of you that's like, all right, when I beat Moldavsky, I'm calling out the champ. I'm putting pressure. I'm gonna let Bellator know, hey, it's time for tall Steve Mowry to get his title shot.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and correct you there. There is a clear contender. Linton has the next shot at the title. To answer your question more directly, no, I'm not really allowing myself to think that. I'm really just focused on what I got to do against Valentin Moldavsky. And then, more to the point, I'm really looking forward to see. I'm really in its own separate space. I'm really looking forward to helping Linton prepare for, his title shot.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, he'll be fighting August 12th. It'll be him versus the former champion Valentin Moldavsky. It's going to be, I'm telling you right now, this will be the fight that steals the card. I give you, once again, it's tall Steve Mowry. Tall Steve, before I let you go, so where can fans check you out again? Where's the Twitter page, Instagram, your website, and also who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up on August 12th?
I'm really grateful for my team at Sanford MMA. I'm really grateful for my management at Vayner Sports. I'm really grateful for all my teammates, my training partners, my friends, my family, everybody for pushing me this far. You can find me on Instagram at Tall Steve Fights People. You can find me on Twitter at Tall Steve MMA.
Tall Steve Mowry, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, always on a pleasure having on the show. We come back, got a lot more going on, only on Last Call. Last Call with the Alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel.